of the, I would say the upcoming or the
Non-masters.
non-masters. So we are expecting somewhere close to about 30 teams participating in gold, as well as another 25-30 teams participating in silver. So in all, we'll be having over 350 people participating in the main events, which will be held from 23rd, 24th, 25th, till 27th. And then on the 28th, which is the final day, will be what is called the finals of the pairs event. So we have teams events as well as pairs events. So a teams event is where a team which is comprising of minimum 4 people, they play in what is called the open room and the closed room. So so let us say me and my partner are playing north-south, sitting north-south in the open room. Our teammates will be sitting east-west in the closed room. So our opponents here will be sitting east-west and their teammates will be sitting north-south. So the cards that we play here will be played by them there. So this you get it? You didn't get it? The same cards that we play, which are duplicate nowadays, in the good old days, they used to actually physically hand over the same board. You know, you show them a board. So, so back in the day, so this is how we deal out the cards, you know, and this is how we show north, south. So a deck of cards is dealt out.
North, you have east, you have west, and you have south.
Uh-huh.
And what happens is now this, all these packs are put into a machine which automatically randomize, and then you just put this and the machine will itself shuffle, and it can create identical sets. So if this is board number 22, it can create any number of same board
So
number
duplication is easy.
with the
Back in
exact
the day, we
same,
used to do it physically.
exact
There
same
used to be
cards.
physically volunteers who used to do it. And it's good fun to see people doing it. These cards are normal cards, but the cards that we use nowadays for doing the duplication and all that dealing and all that are having the what is called the barcode. So the computer can recognize the barcode and it can just do the work very, very quickly. So that is the thing. So in a teams event, what usually happens, what happens is you compare how your team played versus how the other team played. Whereas in a pairs event, sometimes the pair plays north south, sometimes it plays east west. You know, everybody. So there is a randomization. There is a general average to it, but it's not an exact one-to-one, comparison. It's not an exact comparison. The same cards are played, but ultimately you are competing as a pair. You are competing against, let us say, a field of 50 pairs. So you are competing against 49 people at the same time on the same day. Whereas in a teams event, your team is competing against the other team, and that's it. At any given time, you're only competing, one team is competing against the other team. Whereas in a pairs event, which will, let's say a pairs event will last for at least, say a day. For example, let's say the final day on 28th. The top 28 pairs will play against will play 54 boards, that is two boards, two to each of these boards, against each of the other 27 pairs. So it will be a 54 board finals, which will decide who is the winner. So a 54 board with, like let us say 1 to 54. So there are 27 tables. On every table there are two boards being played at the same time. Of course, that secrecy has to be maintained. You can't you're not allowed to talk, you're not allowed to go out and chit chat about how does So although that part is taken care of, let's not get too technical about it. But I would like to at least the public to know that bridge is basically a mind sport. It is like chess. It is actually very, very I would say, like in chess, you can be master, grandmaster, life master, that sort of thing. So even in bridge, it's the same thing. So the same master point system which is followed for chess is also followed for bridge. And that is the main distinction. That is why these two sports have got world recognition. That's why they are very well organized. And the only major difference being that chess is an individual sport, whereas bridge is not an individual sport. And something that is said very often and which is probably very true is that bridge actually mimics life a lot. Like any I would say even chess I guess mimics life, but at an individual level, but here it is at an interactional level. So
I'll just put it this way, like in chess you have one opponent. In bridge sometimes you can have three opponents, including your partner. Finally, see, in bridge actually what happens, the player, he and me, we are playing. Then there is a set of language, whereby we can communicate, and that language is known to all the four players around the table. This is called as a system.
bidding system.
Bidding system. And based on, and there is again, card evaluation, like, simply put, like ace has got say 4 points, king has got 3 points, queen 2 points, and jack 1 point. So total, each color will have the 10 points. So the total take of the card will have 40 points. So these 40 points are actually, the systems have so evolved, and they define, like if I say something, my partner will understand what I have got. At the same time, my opponents should also know what I am saying. It's not that the transparency is very meticulously maintained. If somebody is found cheating and all that, the penalties are very severe. You got them from the game forever. So, because in the past, everybody wants to act cleverly, and so now to eliminate that chance, that people can do something wrong. Now, especially these gold events and all that which is played, they have got a screen system. So for each table there is a screen, diagonal screen.
So you're not allowed to have eye contact with your partner.
With your partner.
Because if you're playing with a partner for a long time, just from eye contact, just from your body language, you can tell sometimes. Inadvertently, you can tell.
But you're a pair playing against another pair.
Yes.
So then, what is wrong in communicating with your
No, you communicate.
There is, let me
Eye
explain.
contact.
There are two kinds of information that can be exchanged.
Okay.
One is authorized information. Which,
Yes.
authorized information, which means that you are sticking to the language of your bidding system,
Okay.
which the other players also understand. The
Okay.
second kind of information that could be exchanged is unauthorized information. This could be by hand signals, by eye, or
Just by any body language.
Voice.
by tapping with your foot on the ground or on the. There are different ways.
And a lot of it is inadvertent.
Yeah.
Lot of the times, let's say I'm playing this card, okay, and I've got a particular problem, so my eyes will contort or my face will contort or something like that. I'll just do it like this, and think. It's being done inadvertently in all fairness. But my partner can gain unauthorized information from it, which can make the game unfair. So at the highest level, for the finals, and especially at the highest level, we have what is called a screen. So I can only see one opponent. One opponent can obviously see me. So two of us on one side, it's a diagonal screen, and two of the others on the other side. My partner and one of my opponents on one side. So they can see each other, and there's a small pass box in the middle through which all the information is relayed. So
This is actually bidding cards.
bidding cards, and you can only communicate with this.
See, the whole language of the auction in bridge is encapsulated in these cards. This is the limited language that the player can use by pulling out one of these cards and showing it on the table. There is almost zero verbal communication.
Okay. How many goals participating?
Probably
We have
about 40 out of the
yeah,
70 odd
40
players.
odd players.
At least 40 will be competing in this.
So total all over the country, we are expecting about 300 guests and maybe around 40 people from Goa. So about 300 to, or at least
About
270.
400.
Yeah.
350, 400 players in total. It could go up. We in Goa, we are a community of
In different categories.
And the field, the entire
And the
field.
total field with VR is expected to be about 400.
It could go higher than that because of the ladies and mixed. Just in the open silver and gold events, we are expecting about 400. So I will just continue with this and then you all can ask us more questions. Bridge is one of only 5 elite mind sports. The others being chess, drafts, and a couple of Far Eastern games called Go and Quanchi. So these are the 5 elite mind sports. Out of which, by the way, bridge is the only one which has partnership. All the rest are individual. And its governing body, the World Bridge Federation, is recognized by the International Olympic Committee, besides also being a founder member of the International Mind Sport Association, IMSA. The pedigree of bridge stretches back over 400 years, evolving from the game of whist in England. Modern rules for scoring were formalized roughly around 100 years ago in 1925 by an American business tycoon by the name of Henry Vanderbilt, and then the game soared in popularity in Europe and in the United States from the 1930s onwards. Although not a part of the Summer or Winter Olympics, which mainly showcase physical strength and prowess, bridge is played in over 120 countries and is contested at the world stage in different championships: the Bridge Olympiad, the World Bridge Series, the World Bridge Championships, the Sport Accord World Mind Games, the IMSA Elite Mind Games, and the University World Team Championships. These are a small selection of the very top bridge tournaments. Bridge is also played at the Commonwealth Games, and since 2018 has been included in the Asian Olympics or the Asian Games. Earlier, Mr. Kenny mentioned that during his presidency, the first the Asian Games was hosting a bridge, and India won 1 gold and 2 bronze medals. Competitions are categorized by age as well, with the kids category having players under 15 years of age, with some players as young as 7 or 8 years old, and the seniors category currently is for players above the age of 65, and sometimes see competitors well into their 80s and even 90s. Bridge, like other great games, has the power to test your mettle in novel ways. The game has attracted players from various fields. Actor Omar Sharif famously played bridge and also wrote a column about the game. Tennis player Martina Navratilova enjoys playing bridge. And a long list of world leaders like Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Deng Xiaoping from China, all were bridge players. In India, both Dr. Radhakrishnan and Mahatma Gandhi used to play bridge. Mahatma Gandhi, in fact, learned the game while he was in England. In the commerce world, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, both of whom names are very familiar, are very serious competitive players, and their love for the game is very well known. And even in India, to the delight of many Indian bridge players, Hema Deora, who is the widow of late Murli Manohar Deora, and Kiran Nadar, who is the wife of Shiv Nadar from HCL, have led match-winning teams at the Asian Games. India has played host also to several international competitions. Most prestigious was in 2015 when we hosted the World Bridge Championships in Chennai. We hosted several bridge federations of Asia and Middle East, which is our our small group of 7 or 8 nations in various cities. Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bombay have hosted the BFAM Championship. In 2018, Goa was host to the 3rd Asia Cup Championships, which saw participation 13 member nations of the Olympic Council of Asia. Again, I'll pause and if you all have any questions.
Just some more snippet just to add. So the game in India at the moment is one of the biggest sponsors of the game is the HCL, Hindustan Computers Limited. Basically, because Mrs. Nadar herself is a very keen chess player. They host one of the highest prize money tournaments in the world every year, and we are trying our best to get them to host it in the Banyan Gymkhana. So we're trying. So they host it usually at a very at a big 5-star hotel or this year they are hosting it in Gurgaon.
Yeah, usually at the JW Marriott.
At the JW Marriott in Aero City, they
Aero
host it. But we are trying to get them to come here. So it's going to be one of the biggest tournaments, which of course attracts then participation from abroad also. So even for our nationals, actually, participation from abroad is not barred, is not banned. So if there are people who are willing to come, we were expecting some people from Kenya, from Nairobi, and we were expecting folks from Dubai. And in the past, of course, Bangladesh has participated quite a bit. This time we were expecting them? Probably not. This time Bangladesh was not expected, but we were expecting some friends of ours to come in from Dubai. But I think they cancelled last minute. So, although it's a national championship, it's not, only the interstate you cannot have participation from over.
Otherwise, this is an open championship.
This is called an open.
So even foreigners can participate
So foreigners can participate in this also.
in
Yes.
Summer Nationals.
This one.
Only the interstate championship
Is not.
is strictly for state teams.
And that is fully sponsored by the government of India.
So I think, the master points, what the players from India earn, probably I think those points are not allotted to those foreigners.
Yes,
Correct.
because they are not members of it. And to put a number, Mr. Kenny said that it's the highest prize money tournament. The prize money is approximately a quarter to a third of $1 million US, the total prize
Yeah.
for the HCL International Championship.
Almost 2 crore.
So that's the kind of.
As compared to that, the prize money being given out here would be about hardly 7-8 lakh. For our summer nationals, the prize money would be about 7-8 lakh. And it will be distributed among at least not less than 30-40 people. So
30-40 prizes.
prizes, yeah. So it will be distributed among a lot of people. So it's not a sport at the moment. As a sport, you can't make a living out of the prize money in tournaments, but fortunately there are a lot of professionals making a very good living out of teaching the game. So teaching the game and especially getting youngsters at the school level interested in the game, and at least at an introductory level is a big priority with the British Federation of India, and that's the guidelines given by Sports Authority of India. And we're very happy to note that today, among all the world championships that are held, the winning or the finalists or a lot of the teams have very young members. So it's very common to have teenagers as part of the world championship winning team. Not all of them, but 1 or 2 of them out of 6. And so the sport is gaining tremendous popularity in places like Israel, for example. So Israel, then whole Europe, but Israel, the Scandinavian countries are doing exceptionally well in this game.
Sweden, Denmark.
And
I think in Norway, in one of their universities, they are actually, there is a subject on which, a lot of research is also taking place.
So the very humble deck of cards, this combination of 4 suits in 13 into 4, that is 52. This 52 cards, there's a crazy number about how many times you can play, how many bridge auctions can be there. For example, it's estimated that the bridge auction could be in the trillions and trillions. So
2 to the power of 13.
Some crazy numbers. But the actual play of the cards, and if you see the number of books that have been written on bridge, I think they outnumber the number of books written on chess. So actually, yeah. So yeah.
I'll tell you, I know you all will be surprised. I know you all will be surprised. But let me explain to you why. See, chess has 64 squares. Everyone can see all the squares. It is a game of perfect information. Okay? There are 2 players and there are 2 sets of. In bridge, you have this one deck of cards that is dealt in so many different ways. Then you have 2 partnerships, one sitting north-south, the second sitting east-west. Then each auction is different. Each play of the hand is different. So there are essentially 3 parts of the game: bidding, declare a play, end defense. In chess, there is no bidding. They start directly with play. That is why, in fact, in bridge, you have probably 3 times the number of books that you have on chess. Because you have one set of books on bidding, one set of books on declare a play, and one set of books on defense. Okay. So that's to give you an idea. It is a fact that far more books have been written on bridge than on chess or on any other.
Far more, because like chess, they say that the opening is like lots of books on opening, then end game, then middle game. So these are the 3 main, and of course, there will be several other things. But on bridge, there are aspects of the game which are, maybe at least 15 to 20 main topics. Like just the lead, the first card, lead a card.
Opening lead.
It's called opening lead. So there will be several books written only on opening lead. But of course, the main book is, let us say, based on a bidding system, because a lot of bidding systems have been developed. So at the moment, there are some 5-6 very popular bidding systems, popular in each part of the country, each part of the world. But the most popular system in India, for example, is the same system that they use, which is popular in America, which is called the standard American system. So, and then the play of the cards. The play of the cards actually is a technique, and it's a very, I would say, it's a very scientific technique how the cards actually play out. So I was just checking my phone because, like I was telling you as we speak, there is this championship going on in the US. But now see, they've just started what is called live telecast of the matches. Which I'll show it to you a little later. The players are just about sitting down, they're not yet started playing. So at the moment we've got matches of Mavericks, that's Indian team, versus a team called Vinciguerra. That's probably like Italian. And there's so I will see this Mavericks team. I'll show you the live telecast of that in the play. And
So now I'll just go a little bit over how well India has fared recently. Okay, so India has fared remarkably well in recent years on the world competitive stage with several podium finishes. In 2016, just 7 years ago, Sunit Choksi and Kezar Anklesarya won bronze medal in open pace at the World Bridge Games in Wrocław, Poland. At that same championship, Alok Sadhu and Badal Das from Kolkata, they clinched the bronze medal in the seniors place. Seniors is 65 and above. Then at the 43rd World Teams Championships in France in 2017, the Indian team just missed the bronze medal. At the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta, in Indonesia, the Indian pair of Pranab Bardhan and Shivnath Sarkar clinched gold medal, while the men's teams and the mixed teams both won bronze medal. This was at the Asian Games. So that is probably our highest achievement till date as far as the Sports Authority of India is concerned. In 2019, at the 44th World Team Championships in China, the Indian seniors team won the bronze medal. At the 45th World Team Championships in 2022 in Italy, the Indian seniors team clinched the silver medal. Now we come to the youth. In the 7th World Youth Championships in 2022 in Italy, Sagnik Roy and Shayantan Koshari clinched, these are under 31 youth, clinched the gold medal in under 31 open pairs. Their teammates Suri Kar and Pritam Das won the silver medal in Flight B of the same event, and from this very famous rural village in Madhya Pradesh, Raibitpura, this lady pair of Vidya Patel and Kalpana Gurjar, I say lady pair, but I knew them from the time they were small kids. They won the silver in women's under 26 category. And recently in May of this year, the Indian teams achieved a clean sweep, winning the top titles in all 4 categories of the BFAME, that is Bridge Federation of Asia and Middle East Championships, which was played in Lahore in Pakistan. In fact, one of the players mentioned that their proudest moment was being on Pakistani soil and hearing the Indian national anthem being played when their flag went up at the podium finish. Now, this BFA championships are in fact very special because they qualify teams from our region to play in the world team championship. Everyone does not participate in the world team championships. There are about 8 regions, like you have European Bridge Union, American Contract Bridge Union, and so on. What is it?
The World Championship 22.
22. Only
So
22
countries get to
get to participate. So it's on a qualification basis.
and only America is the only honor of getting 2 teams.
So if, for example, in our
Because
group we have
they are really big, the biggest population and the best quality of bridge is played in.
India, Pakistan, Nepal, and the Middle Eastern countries, Jordan, UAE, Egypt, and so on. So these comprise bridge federations of Asia and Middle East. So from here, we only the first 2 from among that championship get to participate in the world championships.
So actually, all 4 teams have qualified
Yeah.
for the World
For the world
Championship.
It will be held, this World Championship will be held in August in Morocco.
Morocco.
So it is mixed team, then the men's team and seniors, 4 captains.
Again in 2015, the same World Championship was held in Chennai.
Chennai.
By my criticism, the gentleman who was the president of Bridge Federation, Mr. Murthy. I don't know if you've heard of it. He's got a company called Aksar Paints. Anybody's heard like Aksar Paint, the big paint.
The who's the champion of your ranking, first ranking?
Sorry?
The ranking is there?
Yeah, there is a
Who's
ranking. Ranking is available based on your past performance. The ranking is.
Who's the top now?
Sorry?
Who's top in this?
It is teams actually. So probably the top teams in India would be Formidables, which is captained by Mrs. Kiran Nadar, and Mavericks, which is now captained by Subodh Mastak.
And for the this world champions?
In the world, now see, the way to describe it would be according to the number of master points that an individual has won. The all-time highest master point winner is a gentleman by the name of Bob Hammond. So he is the all-time greatest, of amassed master points.
See, now it's become a very, very competitive sport. The World Championship is played out over 15 days. Like we are playing now, we are going to be playing for 10 days. But the main event, the longest event is going to be only 5 days event. So it's like a test match. It lasts for 5 days. That is the main teams event as they call it. So that will be from 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th and 27th. The finals will be on 27th. I think quarterfinals and semi-finals will be on 26th. So like that. So what happens is, bridge is now, the gap is closing in. Earlier there used to be teams that used to dominate the bridge world. But today almost every nation has got a few teams which are very, very good, and on any given day they can beat. So the way to today pick out the best is by actually making an endurance part to it, the stamina part to it.
How long it takes for one match time?
So normally a match is played out of 16 boards. So it takes 2 hours, one match. Normally every 2 hours they take a gap. So let us say a match, normally you don't play more than 16 boards at a time. But you're allowed to just take a short walk and come back, or go to the to the washroom or something like that. That's allowed. But usually 2 hours of intense concentration goes into a match, and that's 16 boards, boards 1 to 16. And then so normally a finals will be played over
16 into 4, 16
yeah,
into
either
5
16 into 4 or sometimes even 16 into 6
rounds.
rounds.
6 rounds of 16.
That is mostly world.
That is at World Championship level, because they don't want to leave anything to chance. They want to minimize the aspect of chance.
Fatigue aspect. Continuously play for an hour.
So the stamina is also tested. So 15 days you have to play if you want to win a World Championship. And every day you have to play close to about 54 to
16 into 3. Now, new standard is 16 into 3. 3 sets of 16.
So earlier you and as per the rules you are not now here for our summer nationals.
You're playing 14 pairs.
Huh? Yeah, we are
54.
four. So
14
we are playing 54 board, 56, what, put it in the board. 56 boards in a day. Each board takes about 8 minutes. So we are playing for almost 8 hours in a day.
So after each round, there is a half an hour break.
Break.
And then the next match starts. And what happens, somebody scores, say 20 points, for example. He will play with the team who has scored under 19 or 20.
The
Like
Swiss,
that,
in Swiss form.
league, is
It's like a Swiss league.
Swiss league. The best team plays with the best.
except for the first round, where you can play with even twice as team.
No, but that's why
Yeah.
we have the gold
Yeah.
and silver. So it's not like, you if you're winning, you get to play against a weak team. If you're winning, you get to play against the strongest team will be challenging you next. So it's always like you're always under pressure.
Mixed team also can play.
Yeah, there are mixed events. So for the World Championship, there are four events. One is seniors open, where anybody can play, but you know how it is. When it's open, it's almost 90% men dominate. Then there's the open, which is again where anybody can play, but again it's dominated by more than 90% are men. Then there is a ladies event, so obviously that's a ladies event, and then there's a mixed event. So there are four teams that that India is going to be sending to the World Championship in Morocco now in August. They have already been selected. They won in Lahore, and that's why they're going for. If they had not won in Lahore, then we would not have got a chance to go.
Category you mentioned, kid also can get.
Yes.
In
So there
age.
are, in age, that is by age, juniors, but this World Championship is, so the junior World Championship is held completely separate.
That is the youth world championship.
Youth World Championship. So there also there are several categories, below 15, then 15 to
15 to
18.
18 to 21, 21 to 25, and under 31.
Along with this one.
Yeah, but any junior who's good enough and plays for the country can play in the World Championship.
So like, that's why I was saying earlier that the good thing to see today, if you see right now, like I said, there's a big championship going on in France. And if you see a lot of very young guys, 18 years, 22 years.
18 years old. Excellent.
Just to give you an example, in 2022, Kalpana Gurjar and Vijay Patel, they participated in the Youth World Championships and they won the silver medal in the under 26 category. This same pair is part of the Indian women's team
Yeah.
that is participating in the World Championships in Morocco.
And they are
So
hardly
now they are playing above their grade. They are playing in the women's
in the open.
women's team.
So the seniors will be whatever. But they must be hardly 26, 27.
They'll be under 26.
They'll be under 26, so 25, 26. Just, and that's a very interesting story that we like to highlight. Is that there is this very really, I've been there. It's about 2-3 hours drive from Indore. Indore, of course, is a big city. But 2-3 hours away is a small little village called Raibitpura. And back in the day, really going long back when that village must have been a really small village. But some 30-40 years back, there was one Dr. Khan who was a veterinary doctor. He was a government doctor. So he was posted in that village. So to pass his boredom, or to get over his boredom and to pass his time, he ended up teaching the whole village how to play bridge. And because of that, today, that village is one of the few villages in India. But there are others. Near Delhi there are. So a lot of these, simple farmer folks also sit in the villages. They like to play cards, and a lot of them then end up learning a little bit about bridge. And we are here as a federation or as an association to help them play it at it's like what gully cricket, everywhere they'll be playing, but that gully cricket and the actual cricket has got a lot of difference, right? So that's how it is with every sport.
But as a social experiment, they found that in this village of Raibitpura, once bridge had really taken hold and the menfolk had started playing bridge, crime dropped,
Gambling.
drunkenness dropped, gambling dropped. And that village became so popular that the girls from other villages wanted to marry men from this village. So much in demand.
Hazare, and they became and they know that they're special because every other day or every other week or every other month at least, they receive, you know, computers or whatever they want, any kind of support that they want. The whole country has adopted them.
And,
Children from that village have gone, especially these two girls, have gone multiple times. If I may take the credit, I was the first one to take them to France, to Lyon. So these girls have visited the whole world.
They are currently playing in Hong Kong.
At the moment, as we speak, they are in Hong Kong.
At the 5th Asia Cup.
So just imagine, girls
And,
from a village.
If any of you all are interested, they will be here in Goa on the 20th of this
Yeah,
month.
for
They
the-
are participating in the Summer Nationals.
You should come, you should
So-
make a small
So if
interview
you
with
want to
them
interview them.
and
they will be-
ask them what is, journalism. I mean, in a sense, what difference Bridge has made to their lives. Today they, they hobnob or they interact with the cream of the society. Can you imagine just a simple village girl getting to, have Mr. Kiran Nadar's telephone number?
Hema Deora, Kiran.
Somebody like that, I'm not. And that brings,
Not only that,
Yeah.
Bill Gates had interaction
Yeah, has
with one of the
it, yeah.
Indian kids.
so
Yes.
one of our boys,
Anshul.
There's a young boy called Anshul Bhatt, he was one of the youngest, bridge players. So he was spotted by Bill Gates and he came over and he said we should play together and they became friends. Now this boy from Bombay, of course, he comes from a very modern, well-educated family. But today he's got Bill Gates on his direct contact. You can send a message to Bill Gates and Bill Gates will, especially with something to do with bridge, he'll get a reply.
Last year, two famous personalities felicitated this young boy, Anshul. One was Bill Gates, the other was Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah.
The reason being that, of course, now he is about 13. He started playing bridge at the age of 8. At the age of 13, last year, 2022, at the World Championships,
He got a goal.
it was, of course, an open championship and he was playing with a Canadian partner. But he and his partner, they won 3 gold medals. So he was part of, although not playing for India, he was part of a team that won 3 gold medals, which is a fantastic achievement.
And just for your information, in Goa also we've got at least 3 or 4 youngsters who are playing bridge.
Yeah, one.
The young Cameron Menezes,
My daughter.
Dion and Mira's daughter. Then we have a Johan Pinto who is, again, she's not here today, but Vanessa is
Vanessa and Rui.
yeah. And who else?
These are the two mainstays.
The two main,
Others
and
are some-
and they've represented the country,
Others
they've
are
already
some
gotten to
students.
go to China, they've
France,
been to
China,
France,
Croatia, Italy.
Croatia, Italy. They've already had 4 world tours, 4 foreign tours, so to speak. For whatever it's worth, I'm not saying that it's for a Goan child, it's a big deal, but it's a great honor. You get to represent. So in other countries, somebody was telling me in Turkey or something, I'm not sure where. No, sorry. The World Championship was supposed to be in Turkey. So in Indonesia, you know what they said? If you want a free trip to Turkey, come learn bridge. If you want to visit Turkey. And then there are, in America, what they say is, free visa if you for learning bridge. So there is a huge attempt to popularize the game among the kids. And there are, already in India, there are at least 1 or 2 schools where in Bangalore, in Bangalore,
Bangalore and Delhi.
including in Mumbai. In Mumbai, the school, I've been to that school. So, no, Krishna Pathshala is the ones who actually go and teach, but there is
One
this
of the
school.
Jain schools.
Yes, one of the Jain schools.
In
In Matunga, there is a school, which is, the community is the Kathiawadi, Gujarati community there. And they are actually encouraging an outfit called Bridge Pathshala, which is again funded by Bridge Federation of India, to actually conduct classes there. So that's one of the first schools. There are hardly 2-3 schools which most of the time the teachers are worried that the children will not study or they'll. just be spending too much time learning bridge, it may be a bad habit and things like that. A lot of parents are worried. This is one of the main concerns that we have. But I can tell you, once you start playing bridge, you don't want to look at any other card game first. You don't want to look at any other means of whatever, gambling or something of that sort. And really, it's a wonderful, wonderful community to be part of. A very supportive community. Lot of career options in the sense you can be a bridge teacher, you can be the director of a tournament, you can be like they say, this view graph operator, because now see, for example, right now the games have started. So I'll show you right now. So there's a guy. So this match is going on now. This is a live match. So there are two ways to show it. You can just have a camera and you can stream it live. But streaming it live, you don't get a very good view of what's happening. So the best way to actually telecast a bridge match in progress is through an operator. So there's somebody called a view graph operator who sits with his computer watching the match from one corner, and he gets to see the whole match because he's in the corner, and he gets to see everything. And anyway, the cards are on the computer anyway, so because the cards have been dealt by the computer, and he keeps on clicking what everybody's doing, the bidding part and then the play part. So the whole world gets to see, and I'm happy to, if any of you want to see this, have a look at this very much. You can pass the phone around.
Perhaps the biggest endorsement
Yeah.
for bridge is the experiment that is currently going on in China. See, China doesn't do anything without it being something that takes them towards being a superpower. In China, one entire province, the Guangxi province, which comprises Shanghai, Wujiang and Wuhan and all those areas, they are teaching bridge in 500 schools. 500 schools, they are teaching bridge to kids as young as in the 5th grade. In 2017, in France, China sent a contingent of 230 bridge players, most of them small kids. A plane load of players one country has sent. So that really gives you the endorsement that a country like China has given to bridge. They want bridge sports, and they are comparing the results, not the results that these bridge playing students in their other subjects, maths, physics, with other provinces. That is the experiment. And they are seeing that these guys
No, they can't see. This is not the computer. That's why the only thing the view graph. So pass. He'll see.
You have to show the logic and reasoning. So this aspect is very much used. Another important thing is you have to also test psychology of your opponent. Sometimes you put a false card.
This is actual live going on.
And opponent gets confused, why this card?
Mascara and his partner.
So a lot of psychological aspect is also involved.
Mascara and Sharia was also part of.
I'll tell you, you just play a small card
At the moment,
and allow somebody to win your opponent. And if he falls into that trap,
but they have already
he's
played
supposed to lead
so many.
something which is favorable to you.
I think
And the contract which you are supposed to make,
maybe this may be that
would have been defeated. You end up with the contract. That's why
and then they will know.
there is a saying that don't accept the free gifts.
So, we will just, if you will leave your WhatsApp number and email address, Meera, will you take it down? We will send you the press note, which we have, so that you can directly copy it. Small request, try to put as much as you can.
Please, our request is, please give this games promise.